Should you buy the Pixel 8a or the Pixel 9a? Now, the Pixel 9a finally is going to be here very soon. Google finally announced that it will be here on April the 10th after the delay, which, whatever quality control issue that they had, seemingly, I guess they worked it out. But anyway, it'll be here April 10th. But should you spend your money on it? And just throwing it out there, the Pixel 9a is $499. The Pixel 8a, you can get it on sale right now for $399. So $100 difference. But when you're talking about $300, $400, $500 phones, $100 makes a lot of difference. And for somebody who's looking to buy a phone like that, $100 can be a big deal. I mean, it really can be. So, should you spend the $499 and get the Pixel 9a, or should you spend the $399 and get the Pixel 8a? Because there's very, very, very little difference between them. And the Pixel 8a is still going to be supported for 6 more years. So the Pixel 8a, 7 years of support. It's got about a year under its belt. The Pixel 9a also going to have 7 years of support. The big change is the Pixel 9a has the Tensor 4. So it has the newer chip, which the Tensor 4 has been, of course, a very good chip. Of course, the Tensor 3 I thought was good. But one of the biggest benefits that we got out of the Tensor 4 was the new modem. We finally got a new modem. The Tensor 3 had the same modem we had for the Pixel 8 and the Pixel 7, which was okay, but it drew more power. It was more power hungry, and it just wasn't as great. So when you look at it on paper, that's a big decision that I think that Google kind of screwed up on. I've been very critical of that. Also, the Pixel 9a, it only has 8 gigabytes of RAM. So we thought that Google learned their lesson with the Pixel 8 because they ran into limitations when it came to doing on-device AI stuff, running Google's Gemini Nano AI, which was the first on-device AI model that they came out with. And we already know that there's AI stuff that the phones can't do when they only have 8 gigabytes of RAM. So it seems very clear that Google is sending a message that the A series just isn't going to get as much of the high-end AI stuff. It'll get some of the basic stuff, but it's not going to get the more advanced stuff. So if you were waiting to see if that was going to happen before you pulled the trigger, then maybe that helps make your decision. But here's the thing. Now, also another thing. So if you're worried about that $100 and you're not, like, if you time is not of the essence, Google is very, very aggressive with putting their phones down and selling them cheaper. So probably you can expect in about 3 or 4 months you'll be able to get the Pixel 9a for $399 as well. So that's the same thing that happened with the Pixel 8a. It came out last summer. They're actually bumping it up. This is the earliest we've had an A-series phone come out in a long time. Traditionally, at least the last couple of years, it's been around the June timeframe or in May after they have Google I/O. They announce it and they go, oh, by the way, it's on sale. So it's earlier this year, and the Pixel A-series phones are some of the best phones you can get around the $300, $400, $500 ballpark. I don't like them at the $500 ballpark. I don't like them at $499 because I think that they're not premium enough, and I think that it cuts too close to the regular sales on the phones. For instance, when the Pixel 8a came out last year, the week or two before that, you could get the Pixel 8 for $549, for $50 more money. Even some places I'd seen it on sale for $499. So it just didn't make any sense from that perspective because the 8 was so much better. Now that the Pixel 9 is $799, and then we've got a $500 price point for the A series, it makes it look a little bit more attractive. However, it's not attractive enough to overlook the fact that it's almost identical to the Pixel 8a. So you can save a lot of money that route. So just drawing some comparisons, what has actually been upgraded on the Pixel 9a? Well, it has the new Tensor chip. It has the Tensor 4, which is very good, but sadly, like I said, it has the same modem as the older phone, the Pixel 8 and the Pixel 7. So that's not really an upgrade, and that was a bigger upgrade than the speed and the performance. So the Pixel 9a, Tensor 4, just over 3 gigahertz processor. The Tensor 3 just under 3 gigahertz. But both of them are going to be flawless in day-to-day performance. You're going to get stock Android. You're going to get Material U. You're going to get the best, probably normal Android experience that you can get on a phone. A lot of people really like that. That's one reason why people gravitate towards the Pixel phones. So that's an even consideration, of course, because both phones, they're going to perform the same. Like, they're going to perform 99.99% exactly the same under almost any circumstance. So if you talk about that, then of course $100, save that. That's a good deal. But the Tensor 4 is newer processor, same modem. It still only has 8 gigabytes of RAM. It still only got UFS 3.1. It still only has 128 gigabytes of baseline storage. The charging did get a little bit faster. So instead of being 18 watt charging, it's like 23 watt. But honestly, it really doesn't make any difference whatsoever, other than it does have power delivery 3 instead of 2. So it does have a little bit better, newer charging, and I mean, that might be something that's important, but really isn't going to make much of a difference. Now, the Pixel 9a, one area it's getting a lot of credit is it has a bigger battery. It's got like a 5100 milliamp battery instead of a 4500 milliamp battery. So that's something that's going to be nice, and you will be able to enjoy a longer battery life. So that's something that's cool. Now, the other thing is it has IP68 dust and water protection. So the Pixel 8a has IP67, which is perfectly fine. Both of them are good. You can drop them both in the water. You know, one can go, the Pixel IP68, you can throw it in the water up to 1.5 meters for 30 minutes. So, I mean, that's something that's a little bit nicer. But when it comes to the Pixel 8a, and we're talking about IP67, so you get 1 meter. 1 meter for 30 minutes instead of 1.5 meters for 30 minutes. Whoopity-doo, not that big of a deal. So charging essentially the same wireless charging, 7.5 watts, same storage speed, same RAM, same screen. Like, there's like no changes to the screen. There is a new primary camera though. So instead of having the 64 megapixel camera, the Pixel 9a has a 48 megapixel. I looked to see if it was the cropped version, because there is a 48 megapixel crop version of the 64 megapixel sensor, but this one appears to be new. So it's got a new 48 megapixel camera, has the same ultra wide, the same selfie. So what does all that boil down to? Basically not much change for $100. So two things here. If you really need to get one right now, I say get the Pixel 8a. Also, there's been this concern because Google came out and said, hey, we're having a quality control issue, a component quality control issue. We're having to delay the launch of the phone. There was no date announced whenever they had their keynote a week or two ago, and they just came out yesterday saying it's going to be on April the 10th. We don't know what that issue is. We don't know if it's going to cause long-term problems. We don't know what the solution is. We just know that Google has now said that you can get it on April the 10th. So we didn't have those problems or considerations, and we know that the Tensor 3 and the Pixel 8a have been out for almost a year and have been a very, very good phone. They both have Gorilla Glass 3, which a lot of people complain about that because it's old. Gorilla Glass 3 has been around since, well, like the Samsung Galaxy S8. Like, it's been around for a long time, but I actually like Gorilla Glass 3. So here's the thing. When Gorilla Glass first came out, it was more geared towards scratches, deep scratches, scratches on the surface, and it wasn't so much towards shatter resistance. Over the years, as we went to Gorilla Glass 4 and 5 and Victus, what they've done is prioritize more anti-shatter as opposed to anti-scratch. So you could get scratches on it, but it's less prone to shattering. So my thing is, especially if you like to carry a phone without a screen protector, the Gorilla Glass 3 that's on both of these phones will be more resistant to surface abrasions and light scratches, which I actually like. I prefer that over the shatter resistance. I don't drop my phone on the concrete. I've never shattered a phone screen by dropping one. So yeah, I prefer the scratch resistance, especially because some people don't like to use screen protectors, and whenever you have the fingerprint scanner under the screen, you can have less reliable results with accuracy when you have a screen protector. So I think Gorilla Glass Victus 3 fits great. It's got a plastic body, and it's really the phone itself. I think it's going to be a good phone. Either one you get, I think is going to be a good phone. It's just a matter of price point, right? So if you want to get the Pixel 8, it's going to have basically the same day-to-day experience. It's still got 6 years left of support, and you can get it right now for $399. I've got a link in the description, affiliate link if you want to go that route. But the Pixel 9a, do you want to spend $499? So my advice is, I think that you would have less concerns, less things to worry about, save yourself some money, same modem, the same day-to-day experience, and we know the camera's good too on the Pixel 7a, the Pixel 8a. It's got a lot of accolades. It's been a really good camera, and I think the one on the Pixel 9a will be perfectly good too. So we know that at this price point, you're going to get great point-and-shoot camera experience, great day-to-day performance, great support, great updates, quarterly feature drops. You're just not going to have the advanced AI stuff you're going to get with, like, let's say the Pixel 9 or the 9 Pro, because those have 12 or 16 gigabytes of RAM. So to me, it boils down to what's the best value, what's the best bang for your buck. I really don't think these phones should be sold for $500. And I said this last year with the Pixel 8a. I said, hey, wait a couple of months and get it when the price drops. And lo and behold, that's exactly what happened. So if you really want the 9a, if you really want to get rid of that camera bar on the back, which it's funny because so many people complain about the camera bar. And that's really one of its big identifying features. And now we have people complaining, oh, it looks so bland, it's boring without the camera bar. Like, make up your mind, people. Which one is it? I like the camera bar. I think it's totally fine without it. It's whatever. It's an A series phone. And if you're looking to get the best bang for your buck, I think the Pixel 8a is probably the best one to get right now. But if you wait 3 or 4 months, wait for the price drop, see and make sure we don't have any problems that come up with this phone due to the issue that they had to fix. Get that one in a couple of months, and you can get it for $399 then when it goes on sale. I really feel like the iPhone 16e has fallen on its face. It's not a good value, and both of these phones blow it out of the water. When you take a look at capabilities, performance, 120 hertz refresh rate, 2 cameras, better camera, better overall screen, all those different things, I think that Google in the A series with the mid-series phones, I think is doing a better job. I'm not overly impressed with the Samsung Galaxy, was the A56. I'm not overly impressed with the Nothing phone. I've got the Nothing Phone 3a. I would get the Pixel 8a over that phone, even though they're about the same price. But anyway, I'll have my full review coming on that soon. But yeah, the Pixel 9a, it'll probably be okay. Save $100, get it in a couple of months. If you want one now, get the 8a. It's a good deal. And $399. I mean, you have a last year's Google flagship level processor, good camera, reliability, 6 years left of support, and so many of the same features, and save some money. And the reason I make this video is because people looking at these phones, they like the Google name, they like the reliability, they like generally the stock Android, they like knowing they've got a good point and shoot camera, but you're also looking at saving money. So when you're looking at a $1,100 phone versus a $1,200 phone, they're both crazy expensive. Like $100 really probably isn't going to dissuade anybody's purchasing decision all that much. But whenever the times are hard, the economy sucks, things are crazy expensive. I just went to the grocery store yesterday or day before yesterday, and I shop at H-E-B here in Texas, and I buy like the Hill Country Fare or whatever, the generic store brand bread. And 4 or 5 years ago, it was 88 cents a loaf of bread, full loaf of bread. And yesterday I went in, it's $2.64. I mean, the price of bread has tripled. I mean, eggs are like $8 a stinking dozen. I mean, everything's expensive right now. So we want to have the best we can get at a low cost. And that's why I make this video, because I really feel like it's important to analyze this and look and say, these phones are so similar. The experience is going to be so similar. Just save the $100 or wait a couple of months and get the other one whenever it goes on sale. So that's my thought process. You're going to have a great experience probably either way. You're going to have long-term support, great photos, and the one big thing, though, that gets me, and probably I would pay the extra $100 for, is the new purple color in the Pixel 9a. I think looks fantastic. I know I'm a sucker for purple anything. I even bought the iPhone, was it the 12 or the 13 when they had the purple, and I was pissed off they got rid of that. I had the deep purple iPhone 14 Pro Max. I like purple. And as much as people say colors don't matter, I would definitely spend the money on that because I really like the color a lot. So anyway, that's all I got in this video. Hopefully this helps some folks out. Hopefully it gives you the information you need to make an informed decision and save yourself some money in the process, or at least decide which one's best for you, best for your lifestyle, and best for your pocketbook. So that's all I got. If you have any questions, comments, gripes, concerns, complaints, of course, all that stuff, go to the comments section. I'll do my best to get back with you. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like and the subscribe button and the little notification bell if you want updates when new videos come out. And as always, thanks for being here. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you guys next time.